Thousands of athletes going for the gold, and as the clear champion of the bathroom, Dollar Shave Club deserves a gold medal. Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to look, smell, and feel your best. Shampoo, body wash, toothpaste, and of course, the best razors you'll ever use. You get an amazing high-quality shave every morning from the DSC Executive Razor. Plus, the true gold standard of any morning routine is their Dr. Carver Shave Butter. It helps the razor gently glide across your skin. Dollar Shave Club delivers everything to you. That means no more trips to the store, wandering the aisles, hunting for razors, shampoo, and toothpaste, then playing cashier, scanning and bagging your stuff. Go for the gold. Join Dollar Shave Club today, and for just $5 with free shipping, you'll get the 6-blade executive razor plus trial sizes of shave butter, body cleanser, and one-wipe Charlie's. Then keep the blades coming for a few bucks more a month. Get yours at dollarshaveclub.com/Golic. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Golic.
Never seen a grown man so thrilled.
Greatest love song of all time?
It really is tough to top. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't love it.
That voice? I mean, gosh.
Better song than the movie, The Bodyguard.
Oh, you'd think. movie was so bad they made a musical out of it.
We're going to get some tweets here. How could you say that? Kevin Costner was awesome in that movie.
Oh, stop it. But that song, her voice, I mean, you want to talk about somebody going
building
too
to
soon.
a crescendo and all the beats of it.
Yeah.
Definitely awesome.
Incredible.
Happy Valentine's, everybody. That one was for Mike Golic. I'm Adnan Burke in for trades. Golic and Wingo on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. We're presented by Progressive Insurance and all of our phone guests in the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. So glad you're making us a part of your day. And this hour of Golic and Wingo is brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book at LQ.com and win at business. Locked into the Winter Olympics. Right now, USA leading 2-1 right now in the hockey, leading Slovakia. So, as you and I were discussing, not only the men's hockey important, of course, for USA, but USA and Canada women's hockey is always going to be an epic tilt. And as far as the overall medal count, USA top 5 at last check. So, hanging in there. But, of course, it's the Norways of the world and Germany and the Nordic countries always dominating.
There was the one bet, and now because it feels like it was a year ago, what was the total points? Hey, Brett, what was the total points in the Super Bowl in the first quarter? Total points in the first quarter. Because that was one of the prop bets. Total points in the first quarter of the Super Bowl. Remember, because in Brady and Belichick's first 7 together, they never scored an offensive touchdown in the first quarter, and they only got a field goal in this one. But I forgot what the total was. But the prop bet was total points in the first quarter of the Super Bowl or gold medals for the U.S. in the Winter Olympics. How many was it, Brett?
It was 12 total points.
12 total points. The last Winter Olympics, the U.S. got 9 gold medal. And I don't know what their pace is now, but they would, for that prop bet, they would have to, if you pick the Olympics, they would have to beat 12 because that was the total points in the first quarter. I loved that prop bet. I thought that was great.
I'm not always crazy with the prop bet, but when it's good, it's really good.
That was really
I will
good
give you that.
one,
If it's a fun one, then it's pretty inventive. So, Katie Nolan's going to be coming up at the bottom of the hour. We've also got Bubba coming in with Love It or Shove It in a second, but let's get to right now what is trending. And that would be Tiger Woods paired with Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas at the Riviera. Woods has yet to commit to his adopted hometown tournament, the Honda Classic, waiting to see how he fares in the opening rounds of the Genesis Open at Riviera Country Club. I think it would be a great sign if I do play. I think it would be a smart sign if I didn't play, Woods said. How about that? Does that dance pretty good? 42-year-old making his third tournament start since returning from spinal fusion surgery last year. 2 weeks after a tie for 23rd of the Farmers Insurance Open. He tees off Thursday at 10:22 a.m. Before I get your thoughts on it, Mike, let's hear from Tiger Woods and his thought process here.
Well, eventually I like to win tournaments, and I am trying to get through that, that process, go through that process to get to that point. I was telling JT last night when we were flying out here is that it's interesting is that I'm making small little subtle changes in my posture and my game and my swing because I'm starting to understand my body a little bit more with this fact that it's different than what it used to be. And those are things that I could never have figured that out on my own, not in a tournament setting. In a tournament setting, things are revved up, and I could feel some of the things that were off and was able to work on them. The more tournaments I play in, the more I'll be able to get a better understanding of that. But also, I don't want to play too much. This is still all new to me, and just want to be real smart about it.
Real smart about it, meaning, see him finish each round pain-free.
Yeah.
Then each round pain-free, then have him play 4 rounds on a weekend, not 2 rounds, and miss the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like a lot of things, Adnan, with age comes a little bit of wisdom. And I can't remember who said it on our show. He said it before, but also said it on our show, either Jack Nicklaus or Gary Player. And boy, isn't that two nice guys to have on the show to be talking golf and saying something like this.
Yeah.
But I forget which one of them said that Tiger should be his own swing coach. Well, like he is now.
Right.
Tiger got rid of his last swing coach, and he went through a number of them. And the thought process of one of those greats that said it was, he knows his body better than everybody. And just what you heard him say there. And he can only really get it in a tournament setting. When something's off, he kind of knows his body now and how to adjust. Right. And that was the person's thought process, saying it was, he knows his body better than everybody. Why have somebody else? Okay, I get it. You're looking at someone and coaching you what they see, but your body feels it. And now you're 42. You've had the injuries. You know you have to adjust for A for age and B for injuries in any sport on what you do. Okay, I can't do this as good. How do I adjust? Okay, I can't swing like that anymore. How do I adjust? Well, man, who knows that better than you? And knowing your own body. And as he said, I can only really get that feel in the tournament to know where I have to adjust. So it's the little wins for him. As like they said, sure, he wants to win tournaments again. But he's going to have a lot of little victories to lead up to that victory again. And that's going to continue to try and play 4 days, continue to be pain-free. How do you feel the next morning? Are you sore the next morning? How long are you sore the next morning? You know, when is the next morning coming? You're feeling really good and ready to go again. There's a lot of those hurdles that he's jumping.
Let me ask you, Mike, if you're a Tiger, what would you rather have? To be able to play 15 tournaments in a calendar year, or to win one but only be able to make through 4 tournaments? So you're back in the winning circuit. It's Tiger Woods is a winner again, but he has injuries and then gets derailed again. Or consistently, and he's decent. He's top 15, top 20s.
Never getting another win, though?
Doesn't win for this year.
For this year? I still think as he thinks he has years to go, I still think he would take the 15, knowing he's playing consistently again, and then next year build on that even more again, because we know what his goals are. We know what the ultimate goal still is to win the majors, but there, as I said before, there's a lot of hurdles to get through before you even think about something like that. And while a number of us, including me, would like to see him do that, win a major again, I don't think he's going to win a major again. Can he win another tournament again? We'll see. But as he talks about, the process could be a slow one.
No, there's no doubt about it. Bill Haas injured in a fatal car accident. He was injured. This is a multi-car accident in California Tuesday night, left one person dead. L.A. Police Detective Jeff Fisher said the 35-year-old Haas was a passenger in a Ferrari that overturned at approximately 6:30 p.m. local time near the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades, California, where Haas was scheduled to play in the Genesis Open. The driver of the vehicle was killed, and Haas and the driver of another vehicle were taken to the hospital. Haas's father, Jay Haas, telling the Golf Channel his son has been released from the hospital with no broken bones. Bill Haas has some pain and swelling in his legs, but is expected to make a full recovery. His father tells the Golf Channel. So,
well, I mean, listen, first and foremost, prayers out to the family of the person who was killed in that crash. That's first and foremost. I mean, there was a life lost there, and that is absolutely horrible. From our side of it, talking about someone who's in the world of sports, you know, wow. I mean, you have to consider yourself unbelievably fortunate when there's an accident bad enough to kill a person and you are in the hospital for a bit, but basically leave basically unscathed, you know, in this thing. I mean, how fortunate you are. But again, the thoughts first and foremost to the family of the person who lost his life. That's horrible.
Yeah, terrible story there. And NFL news, as reported, Frank Reich is now the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He spent the majority of his 14-year NFL playing career as a backup quarterback, and he is the backup option of being the next Indianapolis Colts head coach because Josh McDaniels, of course, was the guy reneged on his agreement at the very last minute. But Reich did have a sense of humor about the situation, saying, the backup role has suited me well in my career. Room full of laughs during his press conference at Lucas Oil Stadium yesterday. But he's not kidding, Mike. He wasn't only the backup. You're thinking, it was a 1A, 1B situation. He made Chris Ballard GM's list of the top 10, but then did not make the list when it was whittled down to 5.
Yeah.
So he's the ultimate backup.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you have to understand that going in. Everybody wants to be the man, but we see that in teams that are looking for coaches a lot of times. And I think more in the last few years in college and pro that the person you're targeting the most doesn't take that job, and then you're going to the next guy or the next guy. So while everybody wants to be the man, you have to understand you may be the second, third, fourth, fifth, or higher choice. But regardless, now it's your job. So what do you do with it? Because people always say these coordinators who come in as first-time head coaches, what do you think they're going to do? No clue what they're going to do. We have no idea what they're going to do. You kind of learn their personality a little bit running one side of the ball, but now they've become the CEO of the team.
Right.
Now, that's got to be the most damning thing. You want control? You want control? Well, now you have control of the offense. Now you go to the big chair and everybody is looking at you. Hey, coach, what time you want to do lunch each day? Hey, coach, what time you want to do? Oh, well, now every single question comes at you both on and off the field. And, most, I would say not most, all believe they're prepared, that want to be that head coach, that they're preparing along the way with their book, with their plays, with the thought process of who they want to hire as assistant coaches, with how they're going to run their organization. So it's one thing to plan that, and then it's another thing to be sitting in that chair, and then all of a sudden, the knocks keep coming at the door, the phone keeps ringing. Okay, how we doing this? How we doing this?
You're
what are we doing here?
Everything, right?
Everything, yeah.
He
exactly.
began his coaching career in 2006. That was 8 years after he retired from playing. You mentioned the fact he's been grinding away 2 seasons as a coaching intern under Tony Dungy.
Right.
Then he was on the offensive staff with Jim Caldwell. Peyton Manning's quarterback coach, where he coached Reggie Wayne on the wide receivers. And then the past 2 seasons, offensive coordinator with the Eagles. Philadelphia went from 22nd in offense during Reich's first season, 7th this past year, and of course put up 41 against the Patriots. So clearly he was a guy who was grinding at all levels. And now you're right. Now's your moment in the sun. What can you make of it?
Listen, I've always said, when we've done this plenty of time, name me the all-time great player that became a great coach.
Right.
You can do it on probably one hand. It's mostly guys that were backup roles or average players who had to know the entire game, had to study way more. Not to say that great players didn't have to study, but they could do a lot of things more naturally great than their backups or the average player, where that person had to really dive in deep and know game plans and opponents and everybody else's position and that. So a lot of times, we've seen it. It's borne out. They end up making better coaches.
You've often seen, right, in baseball, the catchers are always so good.
Right.
Why? Because they see
gotta
the
know
entire
everything.
game.
It's
Right.
exactly
they have
right.
to be aware of everything.
Yep.
Alex Cora, who's now the manager of the Red Sox, he'd always be self-deprecating with us and say, I'm a utility guy. But that guy's the best guy because
Exactly
he's played so many
right.
different positions.
Right.
He sees
Gotta
the game
know.
a certain way. And so that's why it's going to be definitely fascinating how Frank Reich does. And as we discussed yesterday and the day before, if Andrew Luck's healthy, then that's a game changer. If he isn't, then you have to see how well can Frank Reich adjust on the fly. And obviously, he did adjust really well this past season for Philadelphia. Adnan Virk in for Trey. We are Golic and Wingo on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Katie Nolan coming up in 20 minutes. What have we got here, Dan? Some advice for her? I'm looking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have some advice for her.
Oh, absolutely. I have advice for her. I mean, she's coaching the Celebrity All-Star, the NBA Celebrity All-Star team. I did that. Green and I were players one year, which was horrific.
Well,
horrific.
not horrific. You had that one. They keep always show that image of you.
No. The whole experience.
One missed shot, Mike.
No.
Doesn't mean it was a bad game.
The whole experience of the bet. This was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And Green and I played, and it's a Celebrity All-Star game. I thought Celebrity All-Star game, fun.
Yeah.
You goof around a little bit. I got on the court. I was probably 40, 50 pounds heavier than I am now.
Yeah.
Okay. And the first 2 possessions, I'm sprinting up and down the court because people are playing this series. I tried to joke around with the ref. He's looking at me like I got 3 eyes. I'm like,
you had the
wait a
mic
minute.
on and stuff?
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Aren't we supposed to be having some fun here? I'm guarding Arnie Spanier, who's playing like, like he's
Armie
playing
Hammer.
for I'm playing for the title here, who wants to be the MVP.
Right.
I'm sorry, Brett, say that again.
That's Arnie Duncan.
I'm sorry, Arnie Spanier. It's a radio host.
Yes.
Radio host.
You
What
gotta
am I
look up
saying?
who Arnie Spanier is.
Arnie
Yeah.
Spanier is a radio host. Duncan, exactly. He was the Secretary of Education, I believe.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yes, nailed that.
Played college ball and was a very good player, but he played like he wanted to win the MVP every single year, and I had to guard him.
Right.
I'm following this guy, just putting him on the line and going, my God, this game. I miss a 1-foot layup. Greeny takes a shot.
The green man was
Shot an air ball. We were miserable in our experience.
Right.
Then the next year we coached. That was a lot more fun.
That was awesome.
A lot more fun.
Right.
And I coached a guy. There's a guy on Katie's team who I coached when he was on my team that I'm going to tell her she needs to make sure this guy is in the game. He was fantastic. So just a little bit of coaching advice for Katie, because it's all fun and games, but you do when you're coaching, you want to get that win.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, you want to be a little bit competitive.
It's time for another edition of Love It
Booyah!
or Shove It
That didn't go well.
with Golic and Wingo.
That is Love It or Shove It. Brought to you by Granger. We still can't believe
I'm on Arnie Spanish instead of Arnie Duncan.
That was amazing. Parada's eyes lit up immediately. Dan Burke in for Trey. Golic and Wingo, ESPN Radio, ESPN 2. Great to have Bubba in the house as always.
Up?
Bubba, how we doing, man?
All right, Verkhorst, good to see you.
The captain, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, whatever one you
He
want.
has so many nicknames.
I thought it was Tool.
How is what is your Valentine's Day celebration?
Usually I just kind of peruse the Granger catalog and just see what new stuff they have and just hang out and just
You are
sales will love that.
You are an
crack a few beers and
best
just
friend.
just Granger it. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, there you go. Ask a question.
What do you have for us, sir?
Yeah.
Shaun White is the greatest American Winter Olympics athlete of all time. Love it or shove it.
You're a Bonnie Blair guy.
I went through the list, and again, this is one person's list, of the top 10. Are we saying he's better than, the Bonnie Blairs, Eric Heidens of the
Eric
world?
Heiden, awesome.
Now Dick Button, someone I didn't get to see. Apollo Ono, I did.
Yeah.
Certainly Shaun White, we know of. Scott Hamilton, Peekaboo Street. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to call him the greatest winter Olympic athlete of all time. I don't think.
I'm not. I'm going to shove it.
I think I'm leaning to a Bonnie Blair. Eric Heiden, watching what he did. So I think we're both going to shove that one.
Yeah.
All right, to the NBA, Steve Kerr saying that he might have his players run the coaching huddles again. Love it or shove it.
Listen, I shove this whole thing to where it's gone. Like, Steve Kerr has become this genius, that has found a new way to coach his team by having players run the timeout. I swear to you, this was mid-season. I'm having a little bit of fun. We're destroying this opponent. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, other coaches are going to start to, stop.
Right. This is not.
I mean, come on.
The revolution will not be televised.
Please,
I can put it in 4 words. Much ado about nothing, Bubba. I'm going to shove it.
Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield will be a better pro than Oklahoma point guard Trae Young. Love it or shove it.
Wow. Now, that is a great question, Bubba.
Sure is.
Love it. I love it. Baker Mayfield projected to go number 5 to Denver. Todd McShay's latest mock draft. Trae Young projected to go number 7 to the Sixers. I think Baker Mayfield is going to be a terrific pro quarterback. Trae Young, definitely, obviously very talented. He's been a one-man show for Oklahoma. I'm riding with Baker.
You know what? The game now is 3-point shots.
So you go Trae.
And Trae Young can bomb them from anywhere. Mm-hmm. So he may really fit well into, if he's on a team that really, maybe has that Houston Rockets mentality of just keep hoisting it up. Baker, I hope he does well, and I do think more of that kind of game comes into the NFL. Baker Mayfield better. I'll shove that. I'll say Trae Young. I'll just do that to be opposite of Ed on that one.
Derek Jeter admitting that he's still a Yankee fan. Love it or shove it.
Oh, I love it. What do I care? I mean, I care more about what he's doing to the Marlins right now and the thought process. Not so much. I guess I say that. I know Dan Le Batard, they have a big problem down there because they were told it wasn't going to happen again. The fans were told they're not going to keep rebuilding. And here they go again, rebuilding. But I think any owner was going to rebuild with them. But now, and we're having our fun getting rid of the sea creature race and, all that kind of thing. But as far as dismantling the team, I don't think were there any owners that were going to come in and say, oh yeah, we're going to build on this and spend more money? I didn't think so.
Yeah. No matter what, it seemed like whoever was going to be in charge was going to strip it down. Now, granted, I didn't think it would be this type of radical transformation, getting rid of every strong asset they have. But admitting he's still a Yankees fan, I love it. Derek Jeter grew up a Yankees fan. Grandma in Pequannock, New Jersey, even though he was obviously grew up in Michigan. I think that it makes sense. The organization's always been good to him, and so it makes sense he'd love them. He said in the same article, I'm still a Yankees fan as long as we're not playing them, which makes total sense. So I love that Jeter still supports the Yankees.
All right, back to the NBA. Utah's Donovan Mitchell is the Rookie of the Year so far. Love it or shove it.
Wow. I mean, so do we think it's between Mitchell and Ben Simmons? Again, Ben Simmons is considered a rookie because he missed all of last year, like Markelle Fultz is going to do this year and be considered a rookie next year.
Right.
Mitchell averaging almost 20 points a game, 3.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds. Simmons, 16 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Ben Simmons, I mean, my God, a 6'10",
monster,
handling the ball. There's something to that. Are they the top two? Who else? I'm trying to think of who else would be in the running for this.
The thing about Mitchell, we were saying yesterday, is the fact that Utah just hasn't gotten nearly enough love, right? They haven't been focused. Even now with this great run they're on, they're still not even they're outside the playoff picture right now.
We're talking about Utah and Philly both had the same amount of wins. Both have 29 wins. Utah 28 losses, Philly 25.
And that's what always comes into it. Then it'll be Utah misses the playoffs, Philly makes it. Do you ever put weight into that?
Yeah, I'm going to shove that. I think Ben Simmons is going to win that. I think
and Fultz, by the way, has played. He's played 4 games.
Well, early in the season. Okay, I'm sorry. He's going to miss the rest of the season, right?
Apology accepted.
I love it, Bubba. I will go with Donovan Mitchell. They don't get nearly enough love. I'm all in on Utah, specifically Park City. Sure. I hope Donovan Mitchell gets rookie. Sure, you're all over it. Go ahead.
Sure. Valentine's Day is the most overrated holiday. Love it or shove it.
I think it is a very. Let's look at them.
Okay, Christmas is not overrated.
No.
Easter is not overrated. New Year's could be overrated.
Thanksgiving's not overrated.
Thanksgiving's definitely not overrated. So far, maybe New Year's in the mix. You know what? President's Day overrated.
We putting President's Day in that category?
Yes. On Monday, Wingo's off. President's Day wants to honor Taft. I'm going to be here.
Here's why I disagree.
Yeah.
I'm working that day and I'm getting a comp day for it.
Okay.
I'm working today. Am I getting a comp day? Am I getting a comp day for Valentine's Day? I'm not.
Comp day. All right.
So
President's Day now underrated.
Valentine's Day, yes. Now I love it. Is the most overrated holiday there is. Yes.
Yeah, you would say President's Day as a Canadian.
Isn't that the truth?
Have some respect.
Sorry, it's not Prime Minister Day.
If it was Prime Minister Day, then I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Have some respect.
What else do you think would even be in the conversation, Bubba?
Arbor Day, maybe?
Arbor Day also over. I'm saying New Year's Day is the only other one.
New Year's Eve to
Flag
me.
Day.
What day?
Flag Day.
Oh, I thought you said Flab Day. I'm like,
that's
what
a good
the hell are we
day,
talking
too.
about?
I think the debate would always be New Year's or Valentine's.
Yeah,
right?
New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve going out is like rookie night. You know, it's like who goes
Amateur
out
hour,
anymore?
right?
There you go. You have a beer pong tournament somewhere on New Year's Eve?
Well, that's Christmas. It's
okay.
Festivus, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, four-time champ, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Mike Golick here. Support for the Golick Wingo podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you're confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you that same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Mikes. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Hello, I'd like to deposit this to checking.
Fate is a fickle master.
What?
The future is uncertain.
Okay, and what's my account balance?
The horizon is cloudy. I see a long, treacherous voyage filled with great peril.
Look, can I just get a deposit slip or something?
A Fortune bank teller. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I see a yellow-eyed serpent and a low APR.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We're presented by Progressive Insurance and all of our phone guests on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, hoping to get Katie Nolan in a minute or two. But yeah, that's one of those, Mike. Some of these epic fails we've heard so far today, maybe some of you say it's bad luck, your heart was in the right place. And that's just rank stupidity.
Yeah, that is. I mean, and I guess you realize it as you're saying it. I'd be hard pressed to think you had to wait till after the reaction of the person you're with to realize that what you said was dumb or wrong. Right. So I wonder, as it's leaving your mouth, how quickly do you realize what a mistake you're making, and everything you had planned is now ruined in that second.
I think that like when you realize the egregious act, the key is always the overcompensation. Then you're like, no, I didn't mean it like that.
All you're doing at that point is shoveling dirt on yourself.
Right.
You're just burying yourself more.
You're just completely scrambling and looking at
the thing about today and Valentine's Day is how many people are going to go the route of proposing today, right? Today is going to be that day for those that are really into the romantic Valentine's Day. It's going to end up with someone on their knee tonight proposing to somebody else.
Right.
Don't you think?
And I agree with you. Like, it's different because we were talking earlier. Remember Carlos Correa proposed to his girlfriend after the Astros won the World Series? I'm like, well, what if she had said no? I'm like, well, first of all, she's not going to say no. Secondly, if they had lost the game, he could just propose another time. It's not like he had the ring in his back pocket.
Exactly.
So whenever people mention these athlete proposals, I'm like, well, that's a different ballgame. Now, to your point, now actually proposing on Valentine's Day, which, as we said earlier, if women are into Valentine's Day, if the guy's into Valentine's Day, Legs is a big fan of it, then it could be a wonderfully romantic gesture.
There you go.
But the risk versus reward, the risk you take, Mike, if she says no, I mean, then the holiday's ruined
You
forever.
better be sure. I mean, I gotta believe the high majority of engagements you already know the answer, or you're pretty sure the answer,
80%,
right?
I would think.
I mean, to go into that not sure, to be at worst 50-50,
yeah,
I would never do it.
No, if you're like,
I would never take that chance, right?
No, yeah, it's got to be 100%. Almost to the point of, hey, if I were to propose, would you say yes? Like almost to the point of going near the cliff and just asking.
Exactly.
Just to make it, I asked your dad about.
Because I couldn't imagine the no. Oh no,
I've never.
Or I need time. That would be another one. How'd you like that answer?
Man.
Would you rather hear, I need a little bit of time, or just a flat out no? At least the no, it's done.
Yeah.
The time thing, now it's up to you. Do you hang on? Do you give her that time?
Yeah.
Do you try and, up your game a little bit more?
No,
to make her. I know.
No, right. If she goes, I'm not sure.
But would you? So I'd almost rather hear the no.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
just be done. And okay, now I can move on, even though I might be heartbroken for a bit. Then
sure, but you have
I need a little bit of time.
Right.
Well, time for what? I mean, it means I got to do more. What's going on here? I don't know.
Because then all of a sudden, if you're single, you start thinking about trips, and all of a sudden you're thinking, yay, Germany. Yeah, hang on. Might as well just go over there. Why not? Katie Nolan is now with us on Golic and Wingo. Check out Sports, ! So I should pronounce it Sports. The Katie Nolan Podcast every Wednesday on the ESPN app or on Apple Podcasts. If you missed a Super Bowl recap with Katie, the Patriots fan and her Eagle fan producer, love him. Watching the game, subscribe to her podcast to never miss another episode. There may or may not be some tears shed on that particular podcast. Katie, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, you guys. Sorry I'm late. I don't like waking up, but I like you guys, and so here we are.
We appreciate that. And do you have to say for your podcast, does it have to be sports? Do you have to go up at the end like that?
You do, yes.
Okay. And also, I would like to, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little hurt. I haven't seen it in enough areas, and I know you are a social media queen out there. The fishing that we did in Minneapolis, you, my son Mike, and myself, we went out ice fishing. You caught the biggest fish. You got the lunker. You got a white bass, about a 3-pounder, while Mike and I were catching perch and crappie. And I didn't see anywhere you giving me kind of, hey, thanks, Mr. G, for really showing me how to fish and helping me through this time.
Mr. G.
You're absolutely right. I have nothing. I have no excuse. I should do that more. I posted the video. I felt like I was bragging too much for talking about how big my fish was, and that you were catching little ones. And so I didn't want to rub it in your face anymore, but you're absolutely right. I should have thanked you. So I'll post the video like 15 more times today, and I'll say, thanks, Mr. G.
That was incredibly passive-aggressive right there on how you talked about the small fish I was getting. I picked that up, Katie. Don't think I didn't notice that.
All right, before Golic gives some advice with regards to the upcoming celebrity game, Katie, do want to get your take on the Winter Olympics. Mike and I are particularly fans of it. I, of course, being Canadian, we do much better at the Winter Olympics than the Summer Olympics, and I love cold. Mike just loves the competition and seeing America succeed. Where are you at when it comes to the current Winter Olympics?
So for a while, I used to love the Olympics. Then I went into the phase that was like, oh, the Olympics aren't cool. And now I'm like fully back in.
Nice.
On the, it's like a pendulum. So now I'm back in. I'm excited. It's cool to like the Olympics again.
While we all watch the Olympics and we all say, okay, if we had to pick a sport we could do, we'd probably think it would be curling because, I could have a beer in one hand and the stone in the other and things would work out pretty well. But if you wanted to do an event, one of these, kind of speed events on snow or ice, which one would you like to do the most?
Oh, God, I don't think I could do a single one of them. I couldn't even do the snowboard half pipe without doing the jumps. Like, I don't even want to go down that thing. That's horrifying.
What would it take for you to do the luge, Katie?
The luge. We want you to do the luge. What would it take for you to do the luge?
Oh, God, a good life insurance policy, I feel like. I'd think about it. If you paid me Golic's salary, I would think about it.
How about a relative pittance when it comes to Golic's salary?
We'll pay you Mike Jr.'s.
How about the fill-in salary? I can give you that.
Oh, God.
Other things trending right now. Dog show, Katie. Where were you at in the dog show last night? I can tell you're a dog lover.
I'm a huge dog lover. I was devastated that Biggie the pug didn't win because he was so cute, and it's so rare for a pug to make it to the end, to the Best in Show. I worked the dog show last year.
You did?
So, oh, God, it was a fascinating experience. It's a whole new world, that the dog show people. And then the most fascinating thing I learned was that they put the treats for the dogs, they keep them in their mouth.
Yeah.
I can't. I love dogs, man, but I couldn't do that.
See, I wouldn't. I would not have a problem with that. I also was bummed being an owner of 3 dogs, 2 of them being pugs, that Biggie the pug didn't win. Again, it was Flynn the Bichon Frise that ended up winning. I love all dogs, so I was happy for the Bichon winning it. But if you work it, I would love to work it as well. But when I like being around a lot of dogs, I like rolling around with them and playing with them and petting them. Would you not be able to do that there? Is it a little too like high class for that, or do they let you get down and dirty with the dogs a little bit and have some fun with them?
So I was backstage, and I would say there's probably like 60% of owners back there are taking it very seriously, don't want you to touch their dogs, focused and in the zone. And that's fair because this is their big moment. Mm-hmm. That's their Super Bowl. But then there's like 40%, maybe 30% that are just like, yeah, I love my dog. My dog can love you. Hang out with it. Like, let it lick your face. And so that part's pretty great. But I'm going to call you out on saying you love all dogs. There's no way you would ever have like a Borzoi. That thing is huge.
It is. When I say I love all dogs, I mean if I see a dog, I will naturally go up to that dog and want to play with the dog because I love dogs. But yes, I probably wouldn't own a Bichon Frise either.
But it looks so cute with you.
It does look cute, but I thought I've always had labs in my life. I never thought I'd go smaller dog until Harry and Hank entered my life and, having the 2 pugs. So we're very happy with that. But yeah, certain dogs I probably wouldn't get, but I am I will let any dog on earth lick my face without question.
I didn't know that about you and I love it.
Oh, absolutely.
Katie Nolan is coaching the Celebrity All-Star Game, 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Katie, I'm sure you're well aware of what has gone on beforehand with the likes of Greeny and Golic, Ryan Russillo. Mike, you have some advice for Katie?
I do. First off, I want to ask you, you actually Googled how to coach basketball good?
Yes, I did.
And what did that turn up for you?
Not much. It auto-corrected me because that's really bad grammar.
Yeah.
And, it gave me some X's and O's that I know I'm not going to be using. And I'm doing a lot of research. I've got a couple days left. I've been going back and watching old All-Star games. I've been, reaching out to people that have done it before. And so this is actually perfect timing. What do you got for me?
Well, here we go. The first thing you're going to have to worry about is making sure to appease people to get them on the court enough, because that is
playing
always
time an issue.
Yeah, playing time can be an issue. They're all celebrities for a reason, which means they want a little bit of the spotlight, so they want to be out there to collect that spotlight. So you have to be judicious with your playing time, but also you have to be smart enough to understand at the end of the half and especially at the end of the game to put your better players in, to work them back in to the lineup. That's when you need to lean on, Paul Pierce and Common a little bit, and you're finding out during the game who your better players are to make sure they're in at the end. So playing time key, top players in at the end key, and I'm going to give you 2 words that is going to carry you this game, Katie. Win Butler. Win Butler.
Arcade Fire.
Arcade Fire's wife's in the band, his brother's in the band. I coached him a couple of years ago. I looked at him, tall guy, but didn't look like the greatest athlete in the world. I was judging a book by its cover, and I judged it wrong. This dude was the MVP of a celebrity game a year or 2 ago. Yep. He is a good player, Katie. He is one of those guys you want out on the court in crunch time. Win Butler.
Yeah, man, he balls. I've seen him. Like, you're right. It's not what you would expect. I'm going to lean on him, and I think I'm probably going to lean on White Chocolate a bit. I'm going to need them to come up big for me this weekend.
Rachel Nichols is the opposing coach. She gets advice from former NBA players. Katie gets advice from Mr. G. That's how this thing rolls.
Yeah, that is how it rolls. Anthony Anderson from Blackish. Yeah.
How's he? He's not.
Hopefully,
judge the book by the cover.
Hopefully, he won't hear this, but use him sparingly.
I don't think he knows what the word sparingly means, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I was going to say, it'll be a ton of fun.
Yeah,
Katie Nolan hosts the podcast Sports with Katie Nolan. She won an Emmy in 2016, graduate of Hofstra, and she's coaching the Celebrity All-Star Game, 7 p.m. Eastern, Friday on ESPN. Katie, I know it's early for you, but appreciate the time.
Thanks, Katie.
You guys are the best. Thanks, guys.
See you. There you go.
Love the Supremes. Very good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Golic and Wingo, presented by Progressive Insurance. Protecting your small business is a big deal. Cover what you've worked so hard for. Visit ProgressiveCommercial.com.
Been a blast here hanging out with buddy Mike Golic. I'm Adnan Burke in for Trey. We are Golic and Wingo on ESPN Radio and ESPN2. Jason Fitz will be here tomorrow and Friday.
Going to bring his fiddle both days, and we may have a little fun in the next couple of days with the fiddle.
Juilliard's guy.
I was going to say, next time you come in, what are you bringing for show and tell? Exactly. I mean, Jason is just killing any other guest host in here because he can bring a fiddle and play as well as anybody in the world. What are you doing?
What I bring is a passion for the Winter Olympics that can match yours.
There you go.
And on that note, Mike, Brett Prado, our researcher, has outstanding news. What can you do?
Pyeongchang.
Go ahead. What do you got?
We got big news from the sliding center.
Oh, okay.
We have a repeat in the doubles, mind you, mixed doubles, which only men participate in. Mixed doubles luge.
Again, it's mixed doubles luge, but there are no women, but there can be women. That's why it's mixed doubles luge, but there are no women, so it's always two men.
Correct.
Okay.
We got repeat gold medalist.
Really?
Tobias Vendel and Tobias Arlt of Germany.
Germany.
Big stuff.
Yeah. Tobias Vendel and
Arlt.
Yay, Germany. That is what I'm talking about.
Back-to-back
I love
gold.
the Germans.
Both named
Yay,
Tobias.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's actually the second straight time we've had back-to-back golds in this event. In 2006 and 2010, it was Andreas Linger and Wolfgang Linger of Austria.
He sells the Wolfgang. We got to get you with Wolfgang.
I really do.
I want a German anthem at some point. Yeah. That's your Valentine's Day present. Forget about Hadaway. I want Yay, Germany. So I'm wearing what Ray called a bootleg Cinephile shirt. So we have official Cinephile shirts, producer Dan Stanzik and I, which we give to people, contest winners and such.
I certainly would love to wear one. Never got one.
I'll bring one in for next week. Yeah.
Only been riding on the then Mike and Mike back for how long on that thing, huh? Hey, how do you get the Cinephile?
I was going to say, you're going to keep losing weight because we only have larges and extra larges. So
it's cool. I'll go with the extra large.
Okay, good. Yeah. But this is a Cinephile affiliated shirt someone sent in for me. So if people want to send in Cinephile swag, you can do that.
Why not?
Cinephile hats, scarves, whatever you got. I did want to tell you my story about celebrities. So Park City, Utah, which is where Sundance is. By the way, the Cinephile podcast you can subscribe to on iTunes or the ESPN app. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, leave notes on iTunes, do the rest of it. We're there in Park City, Utah, Sundance Film Festival. Nicolas Cage is there. You're a Nicolas Cage fan.
I'm a huge Nicolas Cage fan.
I figured you would be.
He walks in.
Very intimidating presence.
Isn't he a weird dude, though?
Well, red tinted sunglasses.
Okay.
He's got the big camo coat, and this is Park City, Utah. Like everyone there is either skiing, snowboarding, or there for the film festival. So different people, the media go up to him one by one to talk to him. So and everyone's in the same restaurant. So somebody from Entertainment Weekly, Hollywood Reporter, etc. The Hollywood Reporter person says to Nick Cage, and they've got a couple of the cast members and the director, "What's the craziest thing you've ever bought?" And I'm just as close to Nick Cage as you are right now. And he stares at the guy.
I know this one, I think.
I was about to say, he stares at the guy and goes, "Why are you asking that?" Silence. And the guy goes, "I was just asking what?" He goes, "No, I know why you're asking that. Why are you asking that?" And the guy just goes, and all of us are petrified, much less the guy asking the question. And he goes, "Well, I was just like, what about your charitable efforts?" And Nick Cage goes, "Really? You want me to brag about my charitable efforts?" He said, "Okay." He goes, "You know what? I'm here to talk about this movie, Mandy. Otherwise, you can just get out of here."
Really?
And then as if telling a guy, literally telling a bouncer, he's like, "All right, get him out of here." So the PR guy, and he goes, "No, I just wanted to ask you." He goes, "No, get him out of here. You don't know what you're doing." So I don't know the story. Do you want to guess what?
Oh, it was a dinosaur skull. It's like for a couple $1 million.
Yes, Golan.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay, Germany.
There you go.
That's outstanding news. So the fact that you knew that is amazing because I had to Google. I'm like, all right, Nick Cage purchases, and it was like, he had a lot of money, bought dinosaurs, bought castles,
I think part of the story of finding that out was the fact that he blew a lot of his money, and part of it was spending a lot of money on things like that.
Correct. So now I'm terrified. I'm like, I got to go up there and talk to this guy who I'm a big fan of his work.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less what you spend your money on.
Right.
So thankfully he was good with me, but I got to tell you, the first, it was like, "Oh, Mr. Cage, I love The Rock." But he was great. Adaptation's a movie I love. I asked him about Bringing Out the Dead. So cool guy and a good guy. But
boy, he did. I loved him in The Rock. Listen, Con Air is like Armageddon. People don't like those movies. I stop on them all the time. Who doesn't want to hear in that accent Nicolas Cage say, "I got to get home to my daughter's birthday party." Or however he says it. I mean,
we got to get Golan now to do Nick Cage impressions. That story
love that
more.
Guy, man.
Latest episode of Cinephile. You can download and subscribe. iTunes, ESPN app. Always fun, Mike. Thank you.
Man.
Tomorrow,
Appreciate
Stu Gotch from Le Batard's show. Damian Woody as well. It's Golan and Wingo, ESPN Radio, ESPN 2.
See ya.